Good morning, beautiful people. It's Jessie, and I just wanted to come on here, and I haven't done a video in several days, so I thought I'd tell you what's been going on. The kids are busy getting their morning chores done, and I have been so busy with the kids' activities and such that I have not had time to do anything with the garden. But I've got these beautiful broccoli plants that need to get planted in the ground today. I don't know if I'm going to get to it this morning, but I want to go ahead and have them set out here where I'm going to put them. Now, I shared a video about starting seeds a few weeks ago. Let me show you how they're doing. There's some success and there's some failure. All right, so here are my kale seeds. I didn't grow a whole lot. I actually had, this is from one packet. I believe that's my red Russian kale. And look at that volunteer tomato plant right here. Wait for me, you guys. Sorry, you're gonna die in a couple weeks. You're out of season, buddy. And then over here is our lettuce. So it's doing pretty well. I've already harvested it several times, and then I've got some that are 2 weeks younger that haven't gotten big enough yet to harvest. And then over here was the row that I had planted spinach. Do you see any spinach? Nope, no spinach here. And I also planted spinach over here. But again, no spinach. Not a single seed came up that I planted. And I planted them 2 or 3 times, nothing. And I was very, very frustrated. So anyway, what had happened was the seeds that I had used, the packets that I had used, I went back in the house and I looked at the age, or the year of expiration, 2014. 2014, y'all. What did I expect? Not to mention, I had taken them out of the freezer, put them back in the freezer, out of the freezer, put them back in the freezer. So they had been frozen and then thawed out, and then frozen and thawed out several times. And that alone will definitely hurt the viability of the seed. So I was just trying to use them up. It didn't work. And I went to try to find spinach plants, and no luck. I went to many, many different stores, could not find seeds anywhere. I found seeds of other cool weather plants, but no spinach. So what do? You go with plan B. I saw some broccoli plants. They looked good. I thought, you know, I'll just grow some broccoli. So I got 12 broccoli plants that I'm fixing to put in the ground. I'm going to, of course, cover them with frost protection cloth. And I'll show you another video on how we do that, make our rows, and hopefully, you know, better luck next time. And I also went ahead and bought some, went to rareseeds.com, which is Baker Creek's website, and got some fresh spinach seeds that will be here soon. I may or may not try to start them now. I may just go ahead, it depends. If it gets super, super cold real fast, if we still have another month where it's kind of mild, I'll go ahead and plant them, because I grow spinach all winter long. Underneath a frost protection or even thick plastic, makes like a little greenhouse. It does perfect in our zone, which is zone 7. So anyway, that's the plans for that. So here were the Clemson spineless. And there towering over is Alabama red okra. So we've been growing Alabama red for at least 7 or 8 years, and they've always been my favorite, and they continue to be my favorite. Just the health of the plant and how prolific they produce. I mean, they are super tall, and I have to kind of, you know, bend down the stem to reach them, but it's not a really big deal. I mean, the stems are easy to bend. You just grab it and work it and back up and work the stem back so you can grab the okra. But I'm just happy with them. So right now I've got some big pods I'm leaving on there to dry out so that I can save the seeds from them. And we also, believe it or not, here it is, almost November, still have blackberries. But along with the blackberries, guess what you have? Yellow jackets. So I kind of have to fight to get my blackberries. But fight I will, because these are my plants. I put them here and I get first dibs on them. But there are some big ones, y'all. Look at these. Look how big that is. We are also still getting plenty of raspberries, but just like the blackberries, I kind of have to fight to get some because the yellow jackets, you know, they're all trying to get their last hurrah before the cold weather comes. But and these are really pretty far spent, except for a few pockets where I can find lots of berries. So here's a lot right here. So I'm still getting probably at least a cup, sometimes 2 cups a day. Well, they're working on something. Y'all are eating my berries, guys. I don't appreciate that. Ooh, there's, well, I almost grabbed that wasp. Go on now, buddy. Get on out of here. Get. These are my berries. He's gonna get mad at me, y'all. You're gonna see me get stung on camera. He's protecting that raspberry. All right, I'll come back for you later, buddy. All right, so that would be another video to show you what to do with your raspberries at the end of the season. This is our asparagus. It's really done, but I do let it do its thing, and then I'll cut it back as it turns brown. And then we have already harvested a whole bunch of beans. There are still some on here, but I think we've collected enough. The reason why we let them stay here and get dry is because that's what you want to do to get seeds for next year. Okay? You want to let them get good and dry. And then once they get crispy and dry, and here's another thing. You don't want to pick these things to take them in to dry if you know you're going to be getting, if it's damp outside or it's raining or stuff like that. You want to come out here when it, you know, it's nice and dry, maybe mid-afternoon, and pick the dry ones. Take them inside, let them continue to dry out really, really well, and then you can peel them off. So let me just use this for demonstration purposes. You would crack it open. Let's see if I can do this. And then inside, you'll have your beans. Okay, now these were those rattlesnake beans, okay? So that's what the rattlesnake seeds look like. And after you get them out of the shell, I would go ahead and let them dry out even further. Just lay them on like newspaper or paper towels or whatever you have available, and just let them continue to dry on the counter somewhere where rats can't or mice can't get to them or cats can't knock them off. So maybe like a garage or somewhere not in direct sunlight, out of direct sunlight. Then once they're dry, get them in an airtight container. Okay, label it and put the year as well. So here are our peppers. We still have plenty of those, the corbaci, some of the serrano, tampiquino peppers. Here are some Ella Campaign plants that I had, well, actually I started them from seed. They're not going to be here long term. I just had to put them somewhere to get them a good start. They actually go pretty tall, and they don't do anything till the second year, so I'm going to be moving those for next year. And of course, I have lots and lots of loofahs, which are slowly dying off. But this is, some of them actually lost their peeling. I don't know how, it just kind of sloughed off. So these have got to be washed so that they're pretty. This one's actually fairly clean looking. These make great sponges for your kitchen. They're naturally antimicrobial. So, and to save seeds with these is super easy. Look, they're just in there. So you just kind of, that's it. That's all you do. Seed saving is so easy, guys. There's no reason why you shouldn't do it. There's just a few things to keep in mind. Number one, your pods need to be completely dried out. If there's any moisture in your seeds and you try to put them up somewhere, you're going to open them one day and they're going to be covered in mold. So you want to make sure everything is completely dried. There are other exceptions like tomatoes. which your seeds, you still want your seeds to be dry, but it's a different process. It's not like you break open a dried pod and dump out the seeds. With tomatoes, it has a separate process. That seed to seeds book that I will show you tells you every step of the process for that. But most plants, your flowers and things like that, just wait for it to go dry and then just either open the pod if they're in a pod, or just, you know, rub the seeds like this, like if it's a, let me just show you, hang on. So if I were to save these seeds, and let's pretend they're completely dried out, you're just going to kind of rub and pull and, you know, move it around until they pop out, the seeds. Okay, so those are actually the seeds right there. Now they're going to get really super dry, and then you'll just make sure you get all the debris out and only keep the seeds. When, again, break it open the pod, let once it's broken open, let it continue to dry out on like a paper towel. Then when they're like super, super dry, then you're going to put them in an airtight container, label, date it, and stick it in the freezer. Okay, y'all. If you want to keep your seeds for long term, freezing your seeds is the best option. They will keep longer. With that being said, A, make sure all the air's out. They're completely dry. B, you don't want to take them out, put them back in, take them out, put them back in. Now, taking them out while they're still frozen is not a big deal. I'm putting it back when they're still frozen. But if you take the seeds out, let them thaw, come to room temperature, then put them back in, the more times you do that, the less viable the seeds. So it's really best for like a long-term storage. If you have the means to store them in your refrigerator, that's probably going to be the next best option. And if you're going to plant the seeds the very next year, don't even refrigerate them at all. Just, you know, put them in their containers, then maybe put them in like a Rubbermaid bin or something and stick it on a shelf somewhere in the dark. So that's, if you're going to use them the very next year, that would be the best thing to do. If you want long-term storage, either refrigerate or freeze. All right, guys, so here is the book I was talking about called Seed to Seed. It is everything you need to know about seed saving and preserving, and it's by Suzanne Ashworth. This book is a fabulous resource. I love, 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 love this book. So it goes into each type of seed. It has pictures. Now, they're not color, but who needs color? I mean, y'all, we can manage without color, okay? It tells you which techniques work better, how to separate your plants if you're trying to get a specific variety. It talks about the different regional recommendations. So it's just absolutely a fabulous, it's where I learned how to do tomatoes. I think this might be, I don't think that's the one about, it's more about watermelons. So I have spent a lot of time going through this book. I go to it often. So, I just highly recommend getting this book, you guys. I'm trying to think if there's any other, flip through it a little bit more so you can get an idea. Talks about corn. Of course, you've got the tomato, which a lot of people try to keep tomatoes. So anyway, there it goes. It shows you about how to do it. So it shows you pictures and how it's supposed to look. And that does help a lot. So anyway, I highly recommend this book. Get your hands on it if you can. That way you always have it as a resource, a hard copy. And not relying on, is our internet up today? Is the internet down today? Guess what? It's on your shelf. You can refer to it anytime you need. Here is what's left of our black-eyed pea rows. There was actually 2 rows. They've grown into a big, huge, gnarly mess. But I'm going to come out here one more time today because we're supposed to get like 2 or 3 days of rain, and I think this is pretty much going to be it if I want to get it. And get some more, see, these are dry and get very papery. So I'm going to keep probably most of them for eating, you know, black-eyed peas, and stick them in a bag. But also I'll have plenty to seed save with as well. Now, the key to seed saving, again, is you want to get your heirloom seeds. Do not think that you're going to buy hybrid plants and save the seeds from them, because it won't happen. See, to make hybrids, they have to mess with the genetics of the seed. So you may get, I don't know if you can see it, but you may get something that may look similar to the plant, but it's still not the same. Sometimes they won't even grow, or they'll grow, but it won't bear fruit. Or you'll get some kind of, if it's some kind of hybrid melon, and you save the seeds from it, there's no telling what you're gonna get, okay? So there's not a really good success with hybrid plants. That's why you want to stick with heirloom seeds. That's why I always buy from Baker Creek, because they're such a great company, and I've always had success with everything that they've sent us, and you can save the seeds. Yes, a packet of seeds may seem cheap, but the prices, y'all, are only going to go up, not to mention the availability, and you won't have to depend on that anymore. You'll just have your own seeds year after year, and no purchasing new seeds. So it's so simple. It just takes a small amount of time, and everybody can do it, and there's no reason to not save your seeds. So I encourage you guys, try it this time and see how it goes. Even if it's just, your zinnias that you had growing, save your seeds, and then you're going to be really excited in the next year when you take that packet that you put up, plant it in the ground, you have a whole new crop of flowers or plants. So, all right, I hope you guys have a fabulous day, and we'll see you on the next video.